Hi guys, and welcome to Cephalopod School. This is basically the main series of this channel at this point, and the goal of it is to teach you kids to become squids. And I'm not talking about the ZL button here. To put it in a different way, this series is going to teach you fundamentals and key knowledge that you can incorporate into your gameplay to ultimately become a better player in Splatoon. No matter what your current level of experience is, if you have already played a lot or if you're just new to the game, by the end of this series you will easily be able to make it to a decent X rank player at least. So let's get started with one of the easiest yet most important things, the concept of roles. It is quite similar to other team sports like football, where you have roles like the goalkeeper, attackers, defenders, midfield players, and so on. Splatoon works basically in the same way, except you can only classify about 3 different roles here. Let me give you a quick overview of them. The first role is the Frontline, also known as Slayer. As the name implies, frontliners try to give their team an advantage in the most contested areas of a map. Frontline players usually get splatted the most, but they also tend to earn the most splats for themselves. Without their hard work at the front, the team couldn't start a push on the objective and build pressure. The next role is the Midline, which is basically a supporter. The main job of a midliner is to keep stage control and to expand their team's turf. As a supporter role, they can help out everywhere on the map and are mostly responsible for pushing the objective. The better a midliner plays, the easier their team can take control of a match. And the last role is the backline, which can also be referred to as anchor. Similar to the goalkeeper in football, backliners are the last hope if the rest of the team fails. As a backliner, you always want to stay safe and have a well set up way to retreat. They often rely on their specials to stop an opponent's push or hold out until the rest of the team can respawn and take over. If the backliner gets taken out, the whole team is in great danger. Those are the 3 main roles that can be separated, and since there is always one more player than the amount of roles, you can always assign 2 teammates to the same role. Also, each different role must be present every single match, in one way or the other. So choose wisely what role you want twice in your team. Which brings us to a big misbelief. The choice of your weapon does not determine your role. Of course, there are certain weapon types that fit a role better than others, but especially to understand and learn the concept of roles, you should not limit yourself by the weapon you choose. By the time you are more familiar with your weapon set and your own playstyle, you will automatically understand which role you can fulfill and which you struggle with. So, when the weapon doesn't determine your role, what else does? Well, that is actually what most players seem to have problems with, at least in solo queue. Because neither of those roles are really set in stone. They are as flexible as the cephalopod that plays them. The only true evidence you can get is the situation and your position on the map. Now, obviously, every map is different, but their layout is always the same. So once you understand the layout of one map, you can then translate this to every other map. Let's have a look at this example. The first thing to notice is the fortress-like structure that surrounds the spawn area. This is usually the safest place for your team to be in, and it is hard to reach for any opponent. Due to its advantageous position and cover options, this area favors the backliner greatly. If we go a bit further to the center of the map, we often find a lot of open space that provides plenty of options to split up from the team and to approach the center from different directions. This is mainly the territory of the midliner. And finally, when we look at the center where both teams collide, but also even further into the opposite side of the map, we find the dangerous working place of the frontliner. So whenever you're uncertain which role you're even playing, or which role is missing in your team, then just open up your map and have a look at the positions of your teammates and yourself. When you realize that one role is missing, try if you can fill the gap. And over time, you will understand the importance of each role and how they should be played. We will discuss this in more detail in a later video, but just to get started, these tips here should already help you a lot. Also, keep in mind that this is mainly related to solo play and not really to a team-based environment. However, I believe that once you can handle the chaos of solo play, it will be even easier for you to adapt to real teams. And that wraps up our first lesson here. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something. And if you have any questions or anything else, drop them down in the comment section or join my Discord to ask me in person. Also, could you do me a favor? If you know anyone who you think could be even remotely interested in Splatoon, would you kindly link them to this channel, please? Because the more people see this, the less frustration you have to suffer in online play, just saying. So link everyone to this channel and then we can grow together. Thank you all for your help and for watching this, and we will see you in the next video. Goodbye.